What's up? It's the junior analyst. I don't know how to do this YouTube shit, so I'm just going to start it off by cussing you guys out, I guess. This is my first time recording a video, so bear me through whatever this is, please. Let's get straight to the point. The UFC might have just put Islam Makhachev's legacy at risk by forcing him to vacate his title. At least this is what it seems like so far to me. So, Big Dana White had just announced UFC 317, which we all have been waiting for. Ilia Topuria will be facing Charles Oliveira for the vacant lightweight title for International Fight Week. And I am not necessarily happy about this, even though this is a crazy fucking fight. I'm very excited to see it still. I'm definitely going to tune in. Somebody's getting finished 100%. But this pretty much just indicated that we will never get the fight that we all wanted to see, which is Islam Makhachev versus Ilia Topuria. I am also convinced that Makhachev is most likely going to retire regardless if he wins or loses against Jack Della Maddalena. If Makhachev wins, he would have nothing really left to prove in the sport in most fans' eyes to solidify himself as one of the greatest. And if he loses, the cut back down to lightweight would take a toll on him. Plus, he's already 33 years old and did mostly everything he could in lightweight. The risk would have just been too high. It is still a shame that we will not be getting this generational fight between the pound for pound number one and arguably the pound for pound number two at the current moment. Fuck Jon Jones. He doesn't count. He sucks. He's a bitch. He's a cheater. He's a wife beater and he's gay. But anyways, Topuria versus Makhachev would have been the highest skill level fight would have seen in the history of the UFC. That's just my opinion. And in saying that, Islam might be putting his legacy at risk for several reasons. First of all, JDM is very dangerous, a very, very dangerous matchup for him. He's a switch hitter, operates extremely well in the southpaw stance, which will most likely limit Makhachev's kicking game. And we have seen in his fight against Belal Muhammad where he is very hard to take down and control on the ground. Even though I do believe that Makhachev is the far superior grappler compared to Belal Muhammad, however, Makhachev specializes in fence wrestling, the clinch, where you can form in throws and trips. But in terms of traditional wrestling, shooting a blast double leg in the center of the cage is not exactly his best skill set. Islam will either have to use his striking to set up his takedowns on JDM or win the pressure battle where he can do his best work on the cage side, which is not going to be easy due to JDM's footwork, boxing ability, takedown defense, and how he scrambles in bottom position alongside with Craig Jones in his corner. And the worst case scenario for Islam is obviously losing to Jack Della Maddalena, which is definitely a possibility. They just open up as even odds in the betting line. And even if he beats JDM, if it wasn't a dominating performance, I feel like the fans will go with the narrative where he avoided Ilia Topuria, even though that might not be exactly the case. This situation is just a bit confusing to me. JDM had taken a good amount of damage in the Belal fight, maybe not as much, but he would still most likely need to be out and not be able to compete until like September or October, meaning Makhachev could still have taken the Topuria fight for International Fight Week. I know I might be asking for too much, but he would still probably be ready for a second belt. But I do see the argument where he would need a proper bulk to acclimate to the welterweight division, and that definitely takes some time. Also, he obviously understands that's a huge risk to take considering how dangerous Topuria is and how he's still technically unproven as a lightweight. In the end of the day, it is baffling to me how the UFC decided that there would no longer be double champions since quote-unquote holds up a division or divisions, but refuses to strip Jon Jones's bitch ass. So that's up for another discussion. Thank you guys for tuning in. If you guys like it, give the video a like. If you dislike it, if you don't, then dislike it. And let me know what you guys think about this topic and what I could do to improve further down the line. I'll try to upload consistently. Peace.